inshallah. There's so many aspects of this incident to cover. We've seen ripple effects in various, as she mentioned, various allies to Saudi Arabia have also downgraded their relations with Iran. And we saw demonstrations by Shia Muslims just yesterday in the U.S. state of Florida, in the city, I believe it was Orlando, making demonstrations against these tensions. And so we can only hope that in the near future we can see some form of resolution. As you remember, this time last year, we were looking at the start of the Saudi-led military coalition in Yemen. And one of the main concerns and complaints, accusations that the Saudi government made against Iran is that they were funding and providing weapons and equipment, intelligence to the al-Houthi rebels in Yemen against the Yemeni government. The great concern that Saudi Arabia had was, of course, this is the back door of the kingdom, and that it could reach into and affect the kingdom itself, which is why they decided to take this decision to lead this coalition. They are still fighting against the al-Houthis. We hope for the best, inshallah, in Yemen and the larger context of these tensions. Sister Rania is with us now. Salam alaikum to you, sister.
Yes, alaikum assalam. Alaikum assalam.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. We just want to ask you about the composition of these 47 people who were executed by the Saudi government.
Yes, I think that what happened from Iran is not is unjustified. Of course, Saudi Arabia and Iran are not national-born enemies, but it is only the behavior of the Iranian government that continues to interfere all the time in the internal affairs of other countries, particularly the Arab countries. I think that this position, which obliges Saudi Arabia to take this position, not only Saudi Arabia, Bahrain and Sudan also cut all ties with Iran, following Riyadh's example. All these things, I think that when Saudi Arabia cut these ties with Iran, because Iran's aggressive policies for diplomatic actions, as we see Iranian protesters stormed the kingdom embassy in Tehran. Also, another man was shot dead in Saudi Arabia Eastern province on Sunday. Another incident to Sunni mosques in Iraq, Shiite majority of Hilla province, were also bombed. All these attacks were unprovoked. They constituted as very serious violations of the international laws, international norms and regulations, and of course it's a serious violation of Vienna Conventions on the protection of diplomatic offices. I think that Saudi Arabia has the right to take this position. About reactions or the international reactions towards what happened, I think it is not also justified. Some say that this position of Saudi Arabia will affect the Syrian crisis and Iraqi crisis. I think that we should separate between the two issues. Some say that maybe there are some fears that escalations of tensions between the two countries could exert negative impacts on the efforts for establishing a peace process in Syria. But I think that it is a right, or it's a right for Saudi Arabia to take position like this. I think that that's all.
I thank you so much. I want to follow up with a question. For those of us who may not be well aware of the reasons why there are these tensions between Saudi Arabia and Iran. We even saw, if you remember the Hajj pilgrimage at the end of last year, was politicized. The Iranian government was saying that one of their ambassadors was abducted because his body was never recovered. And so can you describe for us the reasons, the historic reasons, how far back do these tensions between Iran and Saudi go? Are we talking years, decades, hundreds of years? Help us understand these tensions.
No, I think I told you before that they are not born enemies. All what happens related to the interference of Iran, or Iran tries all the time try to meddle in the affairs of other countries, and the pledges that Riyadh would continue to work very hard to support bids for peace in Syria and Yemen. Despite that fact, I think that the matter it's not related to historic relations between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Iran tried to all the time try to meddle in the affairs of the country, especially Saudi Arabia and the Arab countries. So I think that Saudi Arabia has the right to cut off its diplomatic relations with Iran after angry protesters stormed its embassy in Tehran to protest against Saudi execution of prominent Namir and Namir. I think that something like that is not justified even from experts or from some leaders or international leaders who try to only talk without any reference or without referring to the real reasons behind this action.
So you're saying, so you're saying, Sister Rania, that these are not rooted in any deep history, that these are just some recent manifestations?
I can't understand you. Do you want to ask about the impact of historic relations on the matter now, or the position?
I'm just clarifying your remarks. You're saying that there is no deep history, that these are very recent episodes that we're seeing.
No, there is no bad history or no bad relations between the two countries.
Okay.
But I think, but I think that not only toward Saudi Arabia, all Arab countries, Iran tries to meddle itself in the affairs or internal affairs of all Arab countries, not only Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
I think maybe Saudi Arabia, because it started to establish a nuclear program with help of Pakistan. Maybe something like that, which I think. Which
that's you've answered our question. We just wanted to get some perspective. We want to
maybe something like that, uranium or some nuclear projects which Saudi Arabia tried to develop. I think maybe something like that, which make Iran make something, try to mingle all the time or to meddle all the time in the foreign affairs. Internal affairs of Saudi Arabia.
Sister Rania, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. We have to continue the program. We don't want to overuse our time for the news segment. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, to look at this situation. We want to continue to follow the developments, inshallah, hope and pray for the best.